Let's talk about social momentum. So what is social momentum? So between 2018 and 2019, that was really the time that I was going out the most on a bunch of dates. And I learned all about this because, I found that when it was time to go on a date, the nerves can come into play and you can be like, not very loose, kind of rigid from your work day and all this kind of stuff. And I was trying to figure out how can I have the most smoothest experience possible coming into these dates with these attractive girls that I've never met before and had the potential to make me feel nervous. And what I figured out was basically that you need to warm up. You wouldn't go into a competition as a cold fish, and it's the same way on a date. It's a high-performance atmosphere. You need all your faculties at play, like wit, humor, confidence, all these things that sometimes can be hard to muster up. And so building social momentum is simply the practice of warming up socially. So you can actually build social momentum before you go out and cold approach or, obviously before your date. But it doesn't just start right before the date. Really, it starts from the moment you wake up. So the second you hop out of your bed, you have to kind of put yourself in a social mode. If you're, you got to go to work. So maybe you stop by the gas station on the way to work and you look over, see some other dude at the pump and you just look over and make some little joke. Or you can even make a little mundane comment about the weather. Super boring, but at least you've interjected something to a complete stranger and then received feedback. Then maybe you get to work and you're talking to people in the elevator and you literally just carry on this concept all the way to fruition of the date, right? So don't be a novice and go into a date with a 10 out of 10 girl being completely unwarmed up, socially speaking. Let me give you a tip on my favorite way to build social momentum. So what I like to do is go to the park, and at every park, there's usually some kind of like circular walking path. Okay. And usually it's like around a pond or something like that. And so you go to the park and you start walking around. And inevitably, you're going to pass the same people. So initially, you can smile and say hi, and then you make a pass, and then you come back around the second time. Maybe you make some joke about what they're wearing or something like that, right? And the social tension dissipates because you walk away from each other. Now, if you really want the cherry on top, around like the second or third pass, you can actually reach out and do a random high five with somebody. And this is after you've built yourself up to where you're really feeling that positive energy. Now, if you do this kind of stuff from the second that you wake up all the way on to later on in that evening, you're going to have an amazing date. So always build social momentum before you go out on a date. Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and follow me for more dating advice.